We built an entire greenhouse using some beautiful windows we acquired off of Craigslist for free. It was a very long, difficult, and sometimes grueling process.
What's been the most irritating part about this process?
All of it.
This being the first big build project we've ever tackled on our own. But the results? Definitely worth it.
The first thing we had to do was dig holes in order to set the posts. We rented a skid steer and a post hole digger, and we carefully measured out where the posts would go as best we could. This process of renting equipment was actually one of the more expensive parts of the whole project.
After we did that, Diane framed up the wall shape, and then she got to work on framing up the windows. The greenhouse was framed around the 12 windows we had to use.
The most expensive part of this process was the lumber we used for the frame of the greenhouse. So we have our wall, our first wall, kind of in place, but we haven't attached it yet. We just clamped it. We're just making sure it's level before we proceed, and we need to bring this other end up just a fraction. And one of the hardest parts for us was leveling it. The sheer weight of the building and not really knowing what we were doing made it quite complicated. What you're seeing here is before we added more wood to reinforce the frame. We did not realize how much the walls would bow, as I am not a carpenter and did not take that into account.
That came back to haunt us later. The next part we worked on was the roof, which again was complicated.
Doing the beams for the roof, and then we'll be able to put the windows in and add siding and then add the roof.
Amazing. Installing the windows went pretty smoothly, with just a few minor hiccups.
What's been the most irritating part about this process?
All of it. It's not, things aren't level and square as they should be, so
Yeah.
it's really fun.
Had to make a trip to Ace Hardware to So I moved this giant window. Obviously I couldn't get a video of it. I'm really proud of that. One of our biggest windows that we got for free. One of the more beautiful ones. Our little girl Mary approves.
The hardest window to install by far was this one here. It was really heavy because it had its own wood frame around it. Despite our best efforts, we could not lift it into place, so we used the skid steer to lift it up, while we balanced it and then slid it into its frame. I'll admit, it was a very sketchy process, but we managed not to die.
The majority of the siding we used for the greenhouse came from an old fence we never had a use for. It had the right look, and we love being able to repurpose things that we have. It doesn't cover the whole greenhouse. We had to supplement with other wood, but it definitely did cover the majority of it.
These greenhouse roof panels were also a Craigslist purchase. They actually came from a major greenhouse retailer, but because they had some hail damage, we got an incredibly good deal for them. Each panel usually sells for a couple $100s.
We wanted to be able to collect rainwater off of the greenhouse, and the best placement for the barrel happened to be in the middle of the greenhouse wall here, so we had to install the gutters on a slight angle so that we could collect the water where we wanted to. And this barrel is 55 gallons, and it fills up really fast when it rains, so that's awesome.
At this point in the project, we thought we were nearly done with the greenhouse. But as we mentioned earlier, the greenhouse frame had started to bow. So we removed the siding of this wall so we could reinforce the frame a bit more. And
It's a lot of work.
We took all the siding off because it was sagging, so there wasn't enough support at the bottom. So we jacked the whole thing up, and then we put this support here along the bottom. We also doubled up on all of these beams here, just to give extra support. So now there's this extra 4x4 at the bottom, and then extra 2x4s vertical.
This big pile of wood chips, about $225, and we are going to use it to fill in the low spots here in the greenhouse. Hi, Gomi. So right in here, you see that? It's already soaking it up a bunch. And then we're also going to put it in here because it's a mess. And once we do that, once we get these wood chips, we will be able to finish up the greenhouse a lot easier, like finish up these gaps and put the ladder up here without sinking and fill in this part. This is the greenhouse with a bunch of wood chips inside, and we're already reorganizing and using it as much as we can.
Everything got too wet.
Yep. So it's going well. Wood chips really have made it a usable space.
After 4 months of hard work, we're finally wrapping up this project. The plants we're growing in the space are doing really well, and it's just a beautiful place to be.
Welcome.
Welcome to the greenhouse.
As you can see, it's basically finished. This part up top that I said I would finish, I've not finished yet. The reason being is there was a bird up here, so we wanted to let her finish hatching her babies and get them out of here before we closed up this area, because she was exiting through here and yelling at us. Pretty much done. There's a couple of little odds and ends here that need finishing. Probably see the gap here behind the pepper plant. We'll be hanging things for drying in here like we did with this yarrow. That's what this bar can be used for now. And then if you look down here, you'll see this mess of stuff. We have our duck, Mary Sunshine, is our sweet crested ancana, and she has made herself a fabulous nest. Hopefully all the eggs are hers.
She just hissed at me. Uh-oh,
Yeah.
there's a chicken in there.
There's a chicken?
Yeah.
Damn.
Get
Is
her
that
out
Heather?
of there. Yeah.
Heather, get out. Heather, get out. Girl,
Good luck, baby.
get out.
So we've got quite a bit of things growing in here right now, and that includes baby ducks.
Eventually we'll get a nice big table in the middle here for hanging out.
We want to host workshops in here as well.
Yeah.
So
Look at how big it is. You stay there.
it's 10 by 24.
It is. It's 10 by 24. It feels a lot bigger than what I thought 10 by 24 would feel like. And eventually I'd love to get some hooks all along these beams here so that we can hang plants that way. I think that'd be really great. And we'll build more shelves along the walls. And then we can eliminate some of these tables and make more floor space.
This door is beautiful. We got off of Craigslist.
We had to hang it inside out. All the cool details are on the inside.
Yeah. Maybe we can paint it.
So that's the greenhouse. If you have any good name suggestions other than the Gothic greenhouse, let us know. We gotta make a sign and hang it up and name this baby.